Wayne, he's saying something that he has said in previous 2Ks more and more and more. So I like to keep it simple. There's not too much they can do, but either give more of something or less of something. To keep it simple. Alright? Like Wayne said, the shooting model is very different this year, with shot ratings playing a much larger role. You can compensate to some degree if you're really good with shot timing or rhythm shooting, but most people are going to need higher ratings this year to shoot at last year's clip. Now, he has said this in previous 2Ks. Yes, you see a lot of people saying, Mike Wayne, you said this before, we've heard this before, you know, stuff like that. But this year they made it easier, right? Even when you have certain attributes that's like, let's say if you don't go for the high attributes, all this means is this year you're going to see more people making more pure sharp builds. You'll see people having more sharp builds out there because they're going to need to really shoot at a certain rate. That's all they're doing. That is about it. So it's a switch. And in reality, I'm never going to sit in my mind and expect for them to do something new. Can you even sit back and think of something entirely new, some type of whole new system of shooting to how shooting can be better? No, it's only taking away, putting back. All they're going to do is put a cap on it now. Let's say, for them to really shoot solid and consistently, most people would probably need an 88 to a 90 this year. Last year, you can do with a 74, 75. That's not going to cut it anymore. Maybe wide open a hot spot in the lethal zone, because we know that they have returned this year. Okay, we go over here. We see Mike Wayne talking about, will lethal zones be in 2K25? Yes, the design is a little more fun. Instead of automatically working on 2 zones, it lasting 1 week, there's 3 version options to choose from. 1 week equals 1 zone, 2 weeks equals 2 zones, 3 weeks equals 3 zones. Okay, for 3 weeks version, you'll face off against lethal, and I guess you face off against lethal and probably get some other bonus. All right, so we know lethal zones are back in 2K. You will need these zones to shoot. This is videos of how to shoot. Remember, this video is going to help you. All right, lethal zones. They helped everybody this year to shoot crazy contested shots and make you more lethal in that area. Listen to the name, lethal. They still have to keep it a basketball game to where you can hit some tough crazy shots if you have the timing and if you have the right attributes, the hot zones, and you knowing how to time your shot perfectly, right? Now, most people complained and said the shooting was trash. I still see people in the comment section saying the shooting is trash, and I'm like, yo, a lot of people don't even be getting their lethal zones, their hot spots, just getting their regular hot spot zones and shooting to feel the comfortability. They get used to shooting with no hot zones, and then when they get hot zones, just speed up a little bit because the timing's different. It's like so much stuff that people don't get hip to and they don't realize it. And I remember when I was first trying to shoot in 2K, we can't make it seem like 2K shooting is easy because everybody can turn off the meter and splash and shoot easy greens. That's a wide margin of people. But I remember how hard it was. Keep it 100 with y'all. It was like I was turning my meter back on. It was like, what was it, 21 next gen? 20? It was like I kept turning my meter back on. People tell me, yo, get used to the meter off. Yo, it's crazy. I'm like, just like, nah. Really in my mind, it was like I felt like I couldn't do it. It was like, damn, I can't. God damn, yo, this is annoying. And I was timing my shot way better with the meter. So I can't imagine how it is when people do turn their meter off and they trying to shoot in the game, and 2K made the shooting harder this year. I feel like the shooting's going to balance out a little more, whereas they're going to control it attribute wise. So if you don't have the high attributes, you can't spray. And that's just simple. That just means you make a build with high attributes to shoot, and you're going to lack other things. You know, they're not going to be that little, oh, you got a 75 so you can still spray with this badge and still spray. No, you're going to see some players maybe be able to do that, but it's going to go back to 2K how it was some players. Most people had to go and just get the high shooting build to be consistent. We need that. It's just to revert back to me. That's how I look at it, all right? Because people will be like, oh, he said the same thing again. But they could actually be going harder on it this time and saying, you know what? They have to have like a Clay 90s. You know, they have to have those type of ratings to knock down shots. That's probably how Mike Wayne in that lab. Wow. Boom. You see it right here again. Hot zones still give you a small boost to your shot ratings. So in this year, it gave you a small boost to your shot ratings. Trust me, people, you want them. The small boost, it seems like, oh, it's small boost, but it's definitely needed. The reason why is because, trust me, that small boost adds onto your badges. Then it adds onto your shot selection. If you shot a wide open shot or a clear shot. So when you first start the game, that's what you want to do. Just make sure you get all red hot spots, all red hot zones. So when you go in and you play against people, when it first starts off, after you get in my career, you're spraying in the park. Everything's feeling good. You're not getting a first bad start, that first impression to the game. There's always a first impression to the game where people feel like, oh, I hate it. And then there's people that be like, oh, I like it. Because they're just trying to learn how to get used to certain things. And they're trying new things. And they're getting their mind aware of the tools to help them within the game. Right? So, I'm just going to sit here and let this play back here. Another thing I want to touch up on. People were saying 2K is expensive, the bills things. I hear all that. It's the same thing like you going to Six Flags and complaining. These people take their time to make this game that costs a lot of money, regardless, hardware wise, technology wise, and brain power wise, to give us something to at least we can get something new each year. It's just like your parent bringing you a Christmas gift. He don't bring you a Christmas gift. Let's say 2K just stopped dropping 2Ks because they're like, oh, we can't make a good basketball game, so they just stop. That's it. They don't even release it no more. Just everybody's just into the NBA and stuff. So nobody gets that enjoyment. There will be people that will be very mad and want a basketball game to drop. So understand that, right? So boost, you don't need boost. In this game, you didn't need boost. The boost gives you the more attribute, like to spray. Boost does help you shoot more, but that it comes into a sense where when you're playing against sweaties. 2K has it to where you can play, go crazy, and you can boost yourself up by getting your takeover meter up. The Mad Max system in the game. And once you get takeover, you basically damn near have boost. So it's not necessarily needed, it's a skill thing, and that's became like a meta between sweaties. Feeling like, oh, I just want to make sure I can secure that shot, have that extra window in case I don't have a hot spot there, I have that boost that helps me. Because when you don't have your hot spots, you do feel the difference from shooting in a hot spot to going in a zone that's still, even if it's a neutral zone, it feels totally different. So it can throw you off. 2K still has their shot timing system changing in the game. They probably could have tweaked it and made it better as well. But we know that since they're going hard on the attributes and they're making sure that you have to have these attributes to shoot, I feel like people are really going to lean towards that way of making builds that can shoot as well. And you're not going to have too much of everything. You know, you're going to have to balance around. And they're just going to turn the sliders to make the little things a little more balanced. And I can see it. I can see it. Between the builds of how we use our builds, what builds we're going to see out on the floor. We already got the bigger courts, man. I'm excited. I'm ready to hoop. I'm ready to hoop, grind my builds. I'm ready to really grind. Like, yo. It seemed like, because 2K always is naturally, it's an every year thing. I'm ready for this cycle this year. This year's cycle, I'm ready for it. I felt like it wasn't fresh, and I didn't like the Rise stuff in the Elite court. This year, they're going to give us that chance to just bring back the hoop and court vibes. We good to go. That's it. Alright? Good to go off the rip. So, first off, to end this off, my last tip for the shooting. Go with the high shooting build. Not too high, but like I said, 88 is the cap. When you really been doing this 2K stuff, you kind of just start to realize and know the numbers. Even 85 is going to be good, but I know like an 88 is going to be that stronger clip point of shooting. I can see them patching shooting, because this year people were shooting with 70s, 75, 70, because of heat check, takeover, hot spot, certain badges, they was just shooting crazy. And I know 2K is going to change that this year and make it more back to the older days. Not saying it's going to be just like the older days, but how, when it attribute wise, what people had, you had to be a shark, you had to have this badge to really be super strong, to where people had to really worry about you heavily. I can see them coming back with that because it's needed. It's been like 2+ years, 23. Shooting kind of was like, yeah, people shooting crazy with low shooting builds. They're about to revert it. And hopefully it's not just like some repeated cycle. They just give us 2 years of wild shooting, then they revert it back, and now we're playing on a balanced game, and we're like, oh, we're feeling it. We're like, oh, it feels way more balanced now. And they could have been did that. So hit that like, man. There's a lot of gems coming for this game. Y'all know I'm gonna be going early, hitting the gems, going crazy. Like, I'm trying to get elite, super elite in this game. And I told you I'm starting off with a PG. We starting off with a PG first. I mean, we starting off with the KD build, of course, but We're gonna have the PG as my main build to cook up and grind on. I'm trying to get with the dribble moves, everything, get right. It's a new dribble engine, so I'm really trying to get right with the dribble moves early. That's just the direction. It's perfect for me to go to, because it's like they made a new dribble engine, and I was saying before this game even came out, I wanted to go to a Kyrie build and be more dribble moves and stuff. So it's just everything is playing out perfectly. It's syncing up. Y'all hit that like, subscribe. I got more things coming soon, more breakdowns on these videos coming soon to let you guys know what's coming to this game. I could already see a lot of stuff. People was really trying to make it seem like they couldn't see stuff because they see certain familiar animations. They gonna have to keep some familiarity there, or see. Come on now, it's crazy, bro. People be crazy. Hit that like, subscribe.